Hello YouTube, this is Hunter Surge with day, what is this? Oh, I always lose track of the day. Day 9 of Firestorm reveals. Today we're going to get our last first look at one of the elements. Today we're talking about Earth. So let's get into it. First up we have Pandison, Champion of Demeter. This is a 2/4 1 Earth. That you can return up to 2 Earth from your underworld to your spirit deck if your Demeter is enchanted. So this is effectively the same thing as like a Demeter or Totagua or anything like that. It just has a bit of an extra requirement of having Demeter on the field. However, in exchange, its stat line is a lot better than you would see from those types of cards. It's basically on par with Totagua. Its attack is a bit better, which means it can hit 5 off of with the help of the Demeter that you have on the field. But I think its biggest positive in comparison to cards like that is that if it lives the turn, instead of having to re-enchant from your spirit deck and use your normal action to heal some more, you just get to heal 2 again. You just get to heal 2 again, which is pretty nice. I like that part of the card quite a bit. This is the first like proper heal card Earth has gotten. They had Verlith before, but Verlith didn't see a lot of play. We'll see if this sees more play, because like all of these like all receive heal 2s type cards, or like these on cast heal 3 cards, those have all seen play. So I wouldn't be surprised if this Pandison sees like some play as like a 2-off. It's pretty solid. Then we actually have a new lith. We have a Champion of Demeter Verdolith. This is a 2/6, 2 Earth. It can be normal cast with 2 Earth if your Demeter is enchanted. So really easy summoning condition. When you target this Verdolith with Demeter's effect, you can special cast a 1 Spirit Earth Elestral from your hand. This effect can be activated only once each turn. So it's kind of similar to Coastalith, which is not good. Coastalith is not a good card. When you pump this with Demeter, it's going to be 5 attack. But if you're doing that, you really want it to be in attack position, which makes it a bit weird. I don't know. It's like, this actually seems worse than original Verdolith. Because like original Verdolith is still like a whack-ass crackle. You are still, it's like a guy that you play, and you go 2 up on spirits from when you played it. Which is a pretty cool part of original Verdolith. Its stat line was also such that it hit 6 when you buffed it with Demeter. So you were able to beat over Ash Rapids and stuff like that. This only having 2 attack is a lot worse. Much, much, much worse. The special cast and Earth Elestral effect is cool. Lets you get multiple bodies on the board, which is neat. But it's still kind of weird. If you're giving this Demeter's effect, you really want it to be in attack position so that you can put out some aggression with it. But that means it's only going to be 2 attack on your opponent's field, which means it's so easy to just walk over. I don't think this card is very good. Unfortunately, I do not think this card is very good. It really needed a way better stat line. Then we have a new Vysceris. So this is a non-titled new card. So it eats the same slots as the original. However, in Vysceris' case, original base set Vysceris is semi-limited. So there's a free Vysceris slot that you can just slot this into. So this is a 4/1. Has the same +1 attack for each Vysceris on the field. And while there's another Vysceris on your field, this Vysceris is unaffected by opponent's counter runes. That's neat. It means if this Vysceris that you cast out in defense from the first Vysceris effect lives the turn, then you switch it to attack, and it can't get shielded, it can't get tsunami'd, anything like that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. However, I do want to note that, like, this card is only playable because of the semi-limit. There is no universe in which base Vysceris at 3 you would play this Vysceris over any of those Vysceris slots. No universe. Absolutely none. That is not enough of an upside, especially when it has even lower defense. So it's even easier to walk over it. Like an Ass Rabbit can walk over this, a Sluggo can walk over this, a Crackle can walk over this in defense. Yeah, this is you would never play this over a base set Vysceris, but at the same time, sure, it gets that free slot, but because of that, it actually makes the base set Vysceris semi-limit really pointless. So, like, it is a consistency hit as well, yes. But, like, the main thing that the Vysceris semi-limit did is it meant that you could only resolve Vysceris' effect once. But now that isn't the case. Now you can resolve Vysceris' effect twice. Now, when your Vysceris resolves, you call out the other base set Vysceris and look at your opponent and go, clear both of these right now, or I'm going to get to resolve it again. Which is the exact thing that we had before, except now it's a bit less consistent to see base set Vysceris. Like, there's definitely a possibility that that's fine. It's completely fine for that to be the case. But if it's fine now, if, like, post Firestorm, we are in an environment where, like, original Vysceris at 3, like, being able to resolve twice is completely fine, then there's not really any reason to keep the card semi-limited. And if original Vysceris gets gets unlimited, then there's no reason to ever run this card. Yeah, this card is, I don't think this card's particularly good. And then one last card. We actually talked about this before. It's the new Panzer. This card is bad. We talked about this yesterday. I'm pretty sure it's bad. Maybe the draw effect will be good enough, but I don't think it's going to be. But okay. Okay, so let's do collection numbers. So Vysceris is 15. We talked about yesterday that since Panzer is 16, that means the slots after it basically all have to be Earth 1 cost, 1 stage Elestrals, barring another Champion of Hestia 1 cost bear. But that seems pretty unlikely because thus far it has seemed very much like the cover card champions always go first. That definitely seems to be the case. We don't know 100% for sure, but the placements do imply that. And if we look at, say, Solar and Lunar, we can confirm that the old rule of 2-stage Ascension 9s come before 1-stage Ascension 9s still holds. So that means that we're actually getting like 5 1-stage Elestrals, which is very interesting. Very interesting to see. One of those is probably Dratalia again. This does completely cross out the possibility of Panzer getting an Ascension this set, because Panzer comes after Vysceris, and Vysceris is a 1-stage, so that can't happen. Then for Pandolence, Pandolence is number 9. The first 8 slots are Spirits, so this is the first real slot in the set. Which means that there are no multi-stage champions of Demeter in this set. And then Verdolith is number 10, so it's right after. That likely means that we're done for champions of Demeter. Makes a lot of sense with Solar and Lunar. And probably, seemingly Keelan too, they showed us like all of their champions on their first reveal. So it makes a lot of sense that we've seen all of the champions of Demeter. But that does mean that that 11 through 14 are non-champions. Probably like two-stage Ascensions. Actually, no, they're not confirmed non-champions. We actually know two of these 4 slots are going to a champion 2-stage Ascension line, because Champion of Hermes has Spinnymph and Spinosect. So that will be in here, probably number 11 and 12. And that's another champion archetype, like one of the off non-focus colors. Like say like Solar or Lunar or Frost could get a champion 2-stage Ascension 9 here. But it could just be a one that isn't a champion, a 2-stage Ascension 9. So we'll see what happens there. Then we have a bunch of 1-stage Ascensions for Earth. So that's going to be interesting. Very interesting to see how, very interested to see how that ends up panning out. But that's it for today. A very simple video. Not a lot to talk about. Earth Totagua, pretty solid. New Vysceris, only playable at all because of a semi-limit that no longer makes sense because this new Vysceris exists. With that said, this is going to be Hunter Surge, signing off.